and welcome to Fab TV. This is Tab Exclusive and I'm your host Natasha Brown. On this particular episode, we'll be speaking with the president of Bikers in Nigeria and also the co-director of Muscle on Wheels. You don't want to go anywhere. This is going to be so exciting, revved up already. So stay tuned and yeah. All right, so here we have with us Nengimote Hanson.
Yay!
Oh, that year was it wasn't revved up, no V6, no, what's that thing you called it? 900
The CC cylinder capacity.
You had like 125.
No, we're calm until we get on the bike.
Anyway, so you are co-director, Muscle on Wheels, president of Bikers in Nigeria. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Biking in Nigeria is such a sport.
Yes.
Why do I say such a sport? It's such a sport because, you know, amazing bikes. We really had a lot of, not to spoil it, but we have some bad roads. So I didn't know how amazing it is to be a biker here, but let's just go right into it. Now, what was your childhood like? Because I'm thinking, for someone who has chosen to have a hobby, called biking. And not just biking, any kind of bike. Power bikes, high engine. I mean, you have a capacity for danger. So, what was your childhood like?
Okay, so my childhood was pretty quiet. I'm a definition of a real Port Harcourt boy.
Talk about that. What does that mean?
It means I was born and bred, schooled in Port Harcourt. Totally.
Full bred.
Full.
Cut your blood, PhD.
PhD will bleed.
Right. So
it's pretty calm. I grew up in town, the old town.
Okay.
The cool old town, by the way. West Breton. FGC Port Harcourt.
Hello.
And then Uniport. See? Full Port Harcourt boy. That kind of thing.
So, but it's funny that that like you said, as a child you were calm.
Yes.
Because I'm wondering, calm. But yeah, you said you were stubborn. So I'm thinking the stubborn part. That's where this, habit comes in. Because
So being calm.
That fascination, like as a child, you wanted to play with cars and open them up, couple them back in. Did you have all of that? No.
So I had plans. I had plans to even go up into space at some point.
NASA.
Yes. Do crazy. I was like the calm, crazy one. So calm. I don't talk too much. I just smile and everything. But if I was being dared to do whatever it is, I would do it and go back to my quiet state.
Calm and daring.
Yes, exactly.
Dangerous combo.
Exactly. So I was pretty unassuming.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so let's just get right into it. What is Muscle on Wheels?
Okay, so Muscle on Wheels is an exotic cars and bikes festival. Okay. Muscle on Wheels is our give back to Port Harcourt City.
Right.
Okay, so as the president of Bikers in Nigeria and also being part of the National Association for the past 10 years, okay, we have organized events, biking events in various parts of the country and even out of the country, okay. Most of the time, it has always been out there and nothing back here. And looking back, Port Harcourt used to have a good automobile culture. Cars and bikes.
Way back when?
Way back in the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Right.
Okay. If you came into Nigeria and you wanted to find good cars, back then they were like, Port Harcourt would probably go after Lagos or even come before Lagos.
Interesting.
Sincerely. Okay, so there were cars in Port Harcourt before things turned around. Okay. And we felt we needed to revive that. And funny enough, there are cars in Port Harcourt that if you
still
see them,
don't make it out.
Still don't make it out till today. There are lots of Rolls Royces in Port Harcourt, lots of cars in Port Harcourt. Okay, so
if you don't know, you don't know.
If you don't know, you don't know. Because at some point, if you lived close to a bar road, okay, back then, like some few years ago, at night, between 12 and 1, you would hear cars race down a bar road. Those were guys that could not openly drive during the day and they needed to open their engines. Okay,
right.
So they come out at night when the road is quiet and then they race down a bar road.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever witnessed that, but then okay.
On days that
I'm getting that tea, so okay.
Okay, so that was our give back, and also for the opportunity for the automobile industry, okay, to connect with the end users, bring things back into Port Harcourt, because right now we have everything happening in Lagos, Abuja, and not so much is happening in Port Harcourt. So Muscle on Wheels is basically that platform created for that to happen.
Right, interesting. How long has this been going for, this particular festival?
So Muscle on Wheels has been on for, this is our 5th year.
Okay.
Yeah, so started up in 2019, and we've kept that pace. Every year it gets better and bigger.
Lovely, and I can't even wait to, for what you have in store for this year. And then, so I'd like to ask, how did you come about the idea, to start, an exotic car and bikes festival in Port Harcourt,
Okay. So like I said earlier, we still do hold biking events out of Port Harcourt. And the first thing was, we needed to have something that was stationed in Port Harcourt to run annually. Okay, so the first thing was, probably have like a biking event. And then we said, why are we restricting ourselves
to just biking?
To just bikes. Why don't we pull in the muscle cars in? Okay, so muscle and exotic cars, we have that blend. Okay, so you have the bikes, the fast muscle bikes against the fast exotic muscle cars.
I love it.
Perfect blend.
Just smells of gasoline.
Exactly.
Smells of speed, and beautiful men out there.
Exactly.
Okay, but, honestly, so we're talking about luxury as well, because it doesn't come cheap.
Doesn't.
And yes, we live in progressive times, but like you rightly said, a lot of people had the reservation, showcasing what they had, and that was primarily based on insecurity. Like you don't want to be seen as someone who has like a lot of money or affluent, and then the next thing out or whatnot. So how have you been able to make owners of such luxurious cars and bikes open up to actually be part of your event? Okay,
so one major thing underneath this whole thing is the fact that we also would want to show the youths that you can actually work, do legitimate jobs,
and still be able to
fund this hobby. So most of these individuals are well-to-do, well-placed people and all that, and then we pay so much attention to security. So we throw in a whole lot of Muscle on Wheels is filled with security. So the security agencies on ground on that day is really top notch. So you have nothing to worry about. And basically that day is more like, I think it's the day where everybody just lets down their guard to just come enjoy, be exposed to engines, be motivated. And then you also motivate people to do better.
I love that. I think that's interesting. But in as much as you've talked about security, my own slight paranoia, not to, put a damp on anything is, so I'm at the event and I've, exotic cars and all of that, but I'll still go home.
So most of the time,
do I still have security take me?
You might not even know who has what car.
Right.
Usually you not even know what has more car, because most of the time the cars are brought in by different individuals.
Right.
The idea is to show you that Port Harcourt has these cars. We don't really care about who has the cars. It's more like we have these cars, owned by legitimate, hardworking people.
Professionals in various industries.
So we're not concerned about the individual that has a car, unless you want to be known.
And I like that, because that does not create any form of spotlight.
No, it doesn't.
So nobody, you're not.
No, you're not profiled. You're not. No.
Interesting. I like that. That's also a way to actually preserve their.
We're more focused on the machine.
Right. Machine, like you call it. All right, but what has the reception been like?
Okay, so I'll start with the first edition. Port Harcourt has a trend. Port Harcourt is stereotyped to setting things as form of entertainment. And Muscle on Wheels is the only event that takes you off what you're used to. Off the regular. So funny enough, the first edition, most people did not understand
what it was about,
what it was about,
or what they were coming to see,
what they were coming to see, what it was about, and
Yeah.
everything. So we had remarks and responses after the event when they
Negative?
now saw no, it's positive when
Okay.
they now saw videos, and we're like, oh, so this is what was going to go down.
Right.
We had no idea, and then we got responses like, is this Port Harcourt? Is this Port Harcourt? No, this is not
Yeah.
possible. This cannot be Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
Okay, so over time, and then we had to now do, for the second edition, we had to do more sensitization every single year. We had to do a higher. But funny enough, right now, most of it was like
It's like a household
household
name.
name,
People
exactly.
have come to receive
They
it. This is
know
our thing. We're looking forward to
exactly.
it every other year.
exactly, yeah. So they know, and they know the location.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And definitely I'm going to be there for this year's own. 'Cause I
Awesome.
don't think I've ever attended.
Oh,
Funny
you've been
enough.
missing. That's all I can say.
know.
You've-
I know. And then we've been talking about it and I'm getting all excited. And so I definitely am going to be there. Even
Sure,
though, you know,
sure.
You keep emphasizing on the bombshell, but then we'll get for what to wear. All right. So, but why biking? For you personally now.
Okay, for
Why
me,
biking? Because it's dangerous, high risk. I mean, hello? Nigerians, we don't want to die now. You know, in fact, literally anybody. But so when I see bikers,
Yeah.
I think of people who have a large threshold for danger. They're like, come to me. You know, they're adventurous and all of that. But yeah, so for you, why biking?
so for me, first of all, biking is a culture, is a way of life for me. Okay.
Okay.
And like I say to every human, learn to live. Live life to the fullest. Most of the time, is when you guard yourself
That you lose it.
that
yeah?
you lose it.
Right.
If you don't live life, you don't explore, you don't get exposed to things that can make you better. You don't enjoy life. So basically,
So enjoying life means just expose yourself to danger from time to time.
so you take away so you take away biking is a dangerous sport, like living and walking on the road. It's also a dangerous thing to do. You know that, right?
You can't put both of them like side by side.
But it's the truth.
Because like literally, big engine, noise, you speed from here to there, like, oh my God, I can't even see when you moved. So there's all of that happening, and in split seconds, anything could happen.
So okay.
It's different from when I wake up from my bed, put my feet on the ground, I move about, and I consciously say, okay, I'm driving my car at this particular speed, right? Regardless of wherever I'm going to. You know, so I mean, there's all of
Okay,
those
okay.
checks and balances that you put, but you know, biking is just like
Okay,
high
so
risk.
no, so okay. First things first. These are machines, and machines are controlled by men.
Right.
So you decide how fast. The machine does not have a mind.
Of his own.
No, you decide what the machine will do. Okay, so if you're reckless,
It's going to get reckless.
yes.
Right.
If you're calm, it's going to be calm. That's the way it is. So we usually would tell everybody that wants to learn how to ride, or you want to get on a bike, you want to own a bike. First things first, please learn to ride properly.
Right.
First thing, learn to ride properly.
And
Understand.
then, so when you buy a bike,
Yes.
are you? Because I think anybody could just buy a bike.
like
Right?
you can buy a car.
Like,
Anybody can buy a car.
Right, anybody
yeah.
could. So, do you and then you don't necessarily have to go through any primary checks and balances or whatever to be on the road with your bike, right?
So,
Like,
well,
there's no, for
there
example, if you're
is-
driving a car,
Yes.
you have, you know, for your license
Yes.
and all of that.
There is.
Okay.
There is for the bikes.
Okay.
So you have a riding license.
Right.
There
okay.
is.
Okay.
Okay.
Separate from you driving a car.
Yes, separate. Yeah,
Right.
there is a riding license. Okay, so you need to get the riding license. That's why you have to go through a riding school. Riding school
Okay.
sorts that out for you and all that. You have to be properly registered. You have to properly register your bike. You have to have proper papers. So it's not just jumping on the bike and then getting on the road, okay?
Yeah.
You need to have all this documented properly, okay? The school has to certify that you're roadworthy. You're able to get on the road, okay? Now that now trickles down to the fact that you get a bike, you finish learning, and you want to join a club. because the only way you can get better and enjoy riding most of the time is when you go in the park.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a community,
Like a community, exactly.
right?
And then, because the biking community in the world is highly connected. Okay. The instances where outside I want to travel out and I go out there and I meet bikers, and just because I introduce myself as a biker, the reception is totally different.
Right.
Totally different. Okay. So for you to be accepted into that community, there are checks that you have to tick.
Right.
And go through to get to that point. So it's not just getting on the bike and then poofing off. You do that, you die, you get buried. Simple, life continues.
That is so dark. You do that, you die, you get back.
That's true.
Okay, yeah. So, but I want to ask about. I see a lot of men,
Yes.
bikers. I see a lot of male bikers, and I want to know the reception. Like when it comes to women, are women also coming into this hobby?
Yeah.
Largely, because I mostly see men, and I know a few ladies,
Yeah.
who ride, but they're not in their numbers, so to speak. We'll
Yeah.
get into this question just after the short break, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, and welcome to another amazing episode of Fab Exclusive. I remain your host, Natasha Brown.
And until we change the narrative with what we are introducing, a lot of us are going to continue to stay part of a movement.
So, talking about drums, we have the conga, we have other drums that are just portable, that can be movable.
Her purpose, she needs to find her purpose in life. Because if you don't find your purpose, you'll never really be satisfied in marriage.
I started impacting in the life of my people way before my venture into politics.
Expensive drinks, you have to invite good customers, rich people, in fact.
Not for the poor.
Mr. Yibo Coco.
This is Tab Exclusive. You know you want to stay tuned to Tab TV if you want more of such amazing discussions coming up right on your screens. Welcome back. Okay, so before we went on the short break, I was asking you about women, my gender.
Yeah.
Right. Are we coming in our numbers, as bikers and all of that? I know only a handful of them, but I don't know,
So if you've been paying attention to what's happening in the world right now, we know that the women are...
Teach me. Okay.
And the men are not even becoming endangered species. But well, let's proceed. No problem. Leave that aside. Okay, so...
Topic for another day. But
Topic
yeah.
for another day. You have a couple of women in the biking community.
Right.
Funny enough, so I'm going to speak from the national platform. We have about 3 female riding clubs in Nigeria.
Oh, I like that. I'd like to know them.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you have a clubs cutting across different states: Port Harcourt, Lagos, Abuja, up north, Kano, Kaduna. You have some of them cutting across the western states, not just Lagos, and also southern. We have in Calabar, we have in Uyo, we have in I think Delta as well.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So the females are coming through,
Right.
and it is. I can throw the word right. Yeah. So it's sexy to see a female on
A
the
female
bike.
rider.
Yes.
It's like you are so powerful, girl. That is amazing. I like it.
Exactly.
Okay, but I don't know if I'd ever do that. Because but it's still a lot for me to handle. But I enjoy seeing you guys do that. Let's keep it at that. And maybe I could just try 1 or 2 things at the event coming up. All right, but I think about that. All right, so let's just now. I see bikers. I mean, globally, they have all these emblems and symbols and these things that they put on. Hells and gels. There's this skull thing. People always wear. What's that about?
Okay,
and
so
then like if you Google stuff like that, you just see different kind of things. So I'm like, what is that about though?
Unfortunately, I feel empty because I'm not wearing my regulars. I
all
feel
the
I feel pretty empty because on a normal day I move around with my rings. Okay.
So you're not a full biker for today.
Well.
Without your emblems, okay. But
So now for us, biking is a non-religious, it's not an ethnic kind of
No tribalism.
not
racism,
none of that.
there's
None of that. Okay. So we always want to preach that people see others as humans.
Right.
We are all humans first of all. If you walk into the cemetery, okay, and probably there's an excavation and then they mumble all the
Dead
bones
bones or
that
whatever.
and all that together, you will not be able to differentiate who is who because they all look the same.
Right. Right.
So that is like the first thing we carry, okay? We are all humans. First thing, so treat everybody right. So in the biking community, there is nothing like I have more resources, okay? So you treat me in a setting.
Better than, you know.
No, once you're a biker, you're a
Preferential
biker.
treatments and all
No, once you're a biker, you're a biker. You're just supposed to follow some rules. Once you follow those rules, treat people right.
That's it.
That's it. So that's basically that's what the calls are.
So the rings and all of that, it has no other deeper meaning to it. It's just, you know, this is it. Humanity.
Yes,
We all
humanity.
gonna die someday. Treat everybody nice.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for that and just getting educated on that. So that's okay. So every other thing I've seen on Google, I put that to the corner. All right. So this part about membership.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's so many responsible drivers out
Of
there
course, yeah.
who just, you know,
Yeah.
I told you that, you know, the other day I encountered one who had no
Gear, proper gear,
protective
yeah.
gear,
Yeah.
just his arms out there and all of that. And I'm wondering, should this be,
Yeah.
you know, possibly not. Possibly that's not the way it should be, because I know that I have a biker friend who is always kitted. In as much as maybe sometimes he would not wear the whole regalia, but, you know, the padded jacket and stuff like that, at least helmet. You know, save yourself, save somebody else.
Of course.
Just in case you want to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
sure.
how do you vet your members?
Okay, so every year, first things first, we take safety as number one priority for us, for every biker.
As it should be.
Yeah, because first thing, we all have families. Most of us are married, we have kids, and then we always have to go back home. Okay?
Fair enough.
Yeah. And you don't want to be caught up in that situation where you have any broken part or you lose your life. We don't want to be caught up in that. So we, as much as possible, preach safety, okay? So first thing, according to the rules, number one is your helmet. You always have to protect your head, okay? And then other gears would follow. And such rules are most of the time instilled and enforced by the clubs. So that's why we encourage bikers
To join
clubs,
Right.
because we cannot, the national body can only walk through those clubs to enforce certain things. Okay, so every year we usually carry a safety campaign. Every year, usually for this year, it ran for a week, online safety campaign. Sometimes we go out on the streets.
Okay.
So it's not just bikers, we bikers, we also interact with every other road user. So we need you as a driver to watch out for us as bikers while on the road, because there are lots of
Right.
drivers out there that are absent-minded. It has happened several times, and that's why you have bikers with loud pipes, even though sometimes it gets pretty scary. But a biker with a loud pipe, you watch out for that biker.
Yeah, from
okay,
whatever distance
you
you
hear
are,
him
'cause
coming.
You've heard it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because people drive without looking at their mirrors. Okay.
Very true.
Yeah. Now, for this other biker, when we go into our gatherings or when we have events, okay, we should watch out for every other person. So if you're not properly dressed, funny enough, it might just be, we call them indies. Indies are bikers that are not in clubs.
Okay.
Yes. So it might just be an indie. Okay. But if he comes around us, we'll tell him exactly, you need to dress properly. For you to go on this trip with us, you need to be properly geared. For you to come into this space, you need to be properly geared. If you come into this space, we will seize your key.
Hello.
If you go into anywhere and you're drinking and we know that
You've been drinking and then
we
come on.
will seize your key.
Right.
When you go home, go get sober, come back,
Get your keys.
get your keys.
Interesting. I like that there are penalties.
Yeah.
You know, for defaulters and whatnot. What other penalties are there? For example, 'cause I
Monetary.
know- okay, fine.
Yeah,
There's
they're fines.
to
Yeah,
be paid.
they're fines to be paid.
Right, and then, but the reason I also asked about vetting your members, there was a time that we had a negative connotation around the bikers community here because it seemed like there was like an infiltration of criminals, so to speak, and then it just didn't tell well of the bikers community. So how did you guys work around that particular negative happening?
Okay, so first thing, like I said, there's a club in River State. There are like 2 clubs and there's like 2 other crews. So the Hard Riders Motorcycle Club, I'll talk about that because that is my own club. Okay, so for you to be a member, you have to go through a certain screening process, and that has to throw light on who you are as an individual, what you do, family background, and all that. Okay, so you have to go through that process, pass that process, okay, before you can be accepted into the biking community, the Hard Riders Motorcycle Club. As much as security vetting, okay, so we need to know if you have any criminal traits and all that, affiliations as well. So once we see that, if there's anything like that, you're cut off. Straight up. So that gives us the boldness.
Are you reported to the police as well? Are you reported to the forces? Like, okay, there's a particular biker that we're not sure what he is, but y'all watch out for this kind of person. Is there an avenue for that?
Well,
or maybe not.
There is no direct.
Okay.
No, there's no direct avenue. Basically, because there are security personnel within us. Okay, that aid this process as well. They'll probably take it off from that. It's not the business of the club to do that. Ours is for you to get into our space, you need to have some checks. Okay, and so within that time, yes, I remember time you're talking about, because at some point they even placed a ban
on all bikes.
So we had to approach the government, and since we have a good rapport with the security agencies and the government, it was easy for them to recognize that, okay, no, these people are reputable people, and then they had to now restructure that announcement and specify. Yes.
Okay, so let's just go a bit fun now. I mean, how much would an average bike cost? Now, you've told me 900cc, 125. I mean, because like literally, there's the thought that it's an expensive hobby to maintain. To even acquire the taste is expensive. So, just let me know how much money do I need to have to be able to afford one.
Okay.
And can I also buy like the ones that have been reading?
So, affordable is relative.
School me.
It is relative. So I don't know what your own affordable is to buy unaffordable, but it's relative. So basically, due to the dollar at the moment.
Okay.
It depends on what you want to get as well. Okay. So like I said earlier, while we're offline, bikes are measured in cylinder capacity, so it's easier. Same way you have the cars being measured in V8, V4, V6, and the rest. So the easy way for us to identify is what cc is your bike. Okay. So you have the 250s, you have the 400, you have the 600, you have the 700, you have the 900, you have 1,000, you have.
What's the highest though?
You can get 1,018.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,800. Yeah. And then I think there's a slightly higher than that. So, but basically, it depends on what you want to get. Okay. So
let's say for a 26-year-old that just really wants to get a bike because he or she like really loves engines and riding and sports cars and stuff like that. So you've started off, you're earning some monies, so at least you want to get your hand on one. So let's use that as a premise.
So I would say the internet is your friend. Google is your best friend right now. Google is your best friend. Okay. There are lots of sites. Go do your research yourself.
No, but I need you to give me a figure. I need you to
Okay.
give me a figure. Average.
Let me see.
On an average.
Let me see.
What can you get
So
one for?
on an average, a new bike off the shelf
Okay.
should range from 15 $20.
Thousands. You need to call the thousand. You just say $15.
Yes.
Put the thousands there.
You also have bikes of below that as well, but
You said that you could get some for $5,000.
You can also get some for $5,000.
Right.
Yes.
Those are lower CC. and all
lower
of that.
CC, fairly used.
Ugly
Yeah.
looking or.
No, they're not ugly. No. You can throw some cosmetics on them and they'll be fine.
Right. Okay, so
Yes.
definitely there's
Yes.
the myth about this being an expensive hobby,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Is it?
It is an expensive hobby. Like we said, dollar is crazy.
Because like
and-
literally we get to look at people riding bikes or some persons look up and they're you have money to be throwing around. You know just got bike up.
Yeah, well,
You know, but then, so yeah.
It's not
all
really.
that.
So far, it's not really throwing around. It's basically safety. So your gears are your safety equipment.
Right.
Okay, your
Helmets,
PPE,
all
helmets,
that.
gloves, jackets, riding pants, riding boots, and all that.
Right.
So those are essentials you should have. So before you get on the bike, make sure you look at
can
your
also get
pockets.
that too.
Yes, because
And do some maintaining.
maintenance. Yes, yeah.
I remember a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He could not find his keys.
Oh.
He couldn't find it and then he was getting livid already. And I'm like, okay, so, well, isn't there something that can be done? So
my
he says,
goodness.
I don't know what it's called, but you can be able to get to the manufacturers and they could
Yes.
cut out the key or whatever.
And then they
specifically, yeah.
reprogram the whole thing.
Yes. And then he said, but do you know how much that costs?
Because you have to practically loosen that whole thing, send it abroad for it to be reprogrammed, pay for that cost, and then ship it back in.
Yeah, so he told me all of that. And I'm like, why did you get a bike in the first place? And then he's like, no, man, we need to. So literally he turned the house upside down. And then his kid was able to find the key. So that was an interesting one, And I'm like, okay, so you want to buy this. You also want to factor in.
Yes. Good
these
thing.
other
Good thing
parts
you
are-
have. Good thing you have some good mechanics out there.
Okay.
That actually can help. There are shops in Port Harcourt, there are shops in Lagos, there are shops in Abuja, and some other places that people that can help out with repairs and maintenance. And we also teach people to learn to maintain their bikes. So simple things like oil change.
It's
So
like
you should
a
learn.
car as well.
Yes, exactly. So you learn to do certain. So you don't have to always rush down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What does it take to be part of the bikers community apart from owning a bike?
That's the only thing. On the bike.
Just own a bike and just come and just
So on the
okay,
bike and
that's
then
it.
on the bike and then we'll now do the regular check. But the only reason I'm going to talk to you first of all
You have
is
a bike.
you have a bike and
Hello.
then we can now start that conversation.
So you shouldn't be talking to me. Okay, but
Yeah, at least you want to hang around bikers, so that's fine. You have that.
well,
You have that
Well.
going through.
okay, but anyways,
Yeah.
so let's actually talk about Muscle on Wheels coming up soon.
Yeah.
Tell me about the whole shebang.
Okay, so basically,
Hot girls, riders, bikes, sports cars, luxury, shmoneys. Tell me about it all.
so Muscle on Wheels is broken down into 3 parts. So the first part is the CSR points. I didn't mention that, so let's save that.
Okay.
The CSR points, you have the CSR points, you have the sports points, and then you have the entertainment points.
Right.
Okay, now, so the CSR point is for the past 4 editions, we've always done give back medical projects.
Oh.
Okay, so we've done free cervical cancer screening, we've done discounted prostate cancer, we want the men to pay something. Discounted prostate cancer screening.
Right.
We've done free eye checks. We've given out free glasses. Yes. We've done free blood donations. We've done genotype checks and all that.
Really interesting because I'm in. That's a good thing.
Yeah, we're bikers. We have good hearts. We have good hearts. So we do lots of give backs. We do lots of give backs. So We've done that for the past years. Okay, so for this year, we have the CSR end. Okay. We're doing free medical consultations. We're doing free eye checks. We're giving out, so after your consultation, if it's something that falls within what we have at the moment, we have free medications going to be given out to people on the spot.
Right.
Okay.
And all these personnel are well vetted.
Yes, they're doctors. They're doctors.
Okay,
They're
cool.
Like I said, bikers are individuals cut across. Yes. So we have, and then we partnered with a couple of hospitals to help with that. So we have that going on. That's part of the event.
Right.
So that's one part, the medical end. Okay. Now the sport end.
That's where I come in.
So it's a high adrenaline pumping event.
Engines revved up, everything
Engines
happening.
revved up.
Geared up.
Yes,
Hello?
yes. So we're talking about racing, short blast, short distance. We're talking about a drifting competition. So we're bringing
Fast and Furious up in here.
So we're bringing car garages from Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, Kaduna, all the way into Port Harcourt.
Lovely.
We're bringing their cars in.
Lovely.
Okay, so there will be about 8 cars coming to drift. So it's going to be dedicated to hours of madness on the tar.
Whew. I can feel it.
So that's just for the cars. And then we have the bikers that are going to stunt. So popping wheelies, popping stoppies. Stoppies are the ones where the back wheel goes up.
Okay.
And then you roll with the back.
Yeah.
The front goes up. Those are wheelies where the front tire goes up and then you ride for.
Yeah.
So they're going to be crazy stunts.
Okay.
Okay. So that's about the sports. Automobile sports. This is what it is. Cars doing stuff. Bikes doing stuff. All done by professionals.
Okay.
Within a safe, guarded area space. Okay. So it's going to be, safety is key for us.
It better be.
Safety is key for us. So there are going to be the road safety is coming through. We put the road safety in. Definitely, we always do that. Have road safety to make sure, and we have enough security hands. Okay.
Ambulances.
Of course, there's going to be a standby. There's always a standby ambulance. Okay. We have a walking station.
Okay.
Okay. Mobile hospital there, and then it's going to be condoned, so you don't go into that space. Okay. Now, for this year, we're going to do something different.
Okay, I want to hear that.
Individuals will have the chance and opportunity
To ride?
be in a car
While it's happening?
while it's happening.
No, but okay, I like that. But what's my life insurance?
You'll have your helmet on and all that. And these guys are
wanna do
professionals.
that.
They've done this for years.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a certain fee, you have the opportunity to be in a car being drifted.
Right.
Now that is
so interesting.
That is the sports parts. Okay. And also Muscle on Wheels is one event that pulls in individuals from various parts of the country and also out of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So we have bikers coming from different parts, from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west into Port Harcourt for this event.
Yeah.
So you have clubs, you have car clubs also coming in, even from out of country as well. Yeah. Last year we had like 3 or 4 persons. For this year we have more persons coming from out of Nigeria into Port Harcourt for Muscle on Wheels.
Love it. And it's actually put in like a positive PR as
Exactly.
well. For the
Yes,
statement.
yes.
Something crazy was about to happen
Exactly.
earlier, politically. But
we'll have something to calm things down.
You know.
So that's the sports end, and then we now have the entertainment end.
Okay.
So we have artists performing. We have loads of games going down. We have loads of giveaways. Okay. Now the way the event is structured.
Is the bike going to be given away?
If
a raffle for a bike
if we have a sponsor, if you can get a sponsor that can do that, perfect. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Right.
So the way the event is structured is a family-based event to a certain point.
Okay.
So kids, the whole family can come in and have fun from 12 to 6. Now after 6, kids go home and then we turn up the hits. It now turns R18 all the way.
Right.
So there are lots of stuff.
Gets to
So-
800cc.
Exactly, gets to. So we have the bikini bike wash, cars and bikes and all that. We have entertainment, music, dance, mad fun, full party shutdown.
Okay, full party shutdown. Hello.
And lots of
okay.
effects, lots of crazy effects.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. It's going to be such a thrilling one.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to actually ask about was branding, sponsorship,
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah.
How's that been so far?
So
Have you been able to garner a lot more sponsorship and partnerships for this particular one?
it's pretty a shame for events in Port Harcourt because we always get to hear that whole thing that you have to come to Lagos. So all your conversation, if you meet a brand here, they'll still tell you they have to push it to the head office in Lagos. Okay, so for us, because we travel a whole lot to the events, we've been able to meet people out there and all that. And we have brands that have stood with us from day one till date. So a brand like, am I free to call brand names?
Sure.
A brand like the International Breweries, they've been with us from start, okay? So Budweiser has been with us all through, okay? MTN was there at some point, okay? So now getting these brands in, first things first, they don't feel Port Harcourt has
The numbers.
the numbers, but that is so not true. At least Bole Festival has shown that, okay? Getting in brands to come and sponsor this event, it's
been tricky.
been tricky. Okay, so most of the time we run on personal funds.
Wow.
So it's been, and we just keep on doing our thing.
But the good thing is,
Yeah.
I mean, most of these festivals, that's how it usually gets to be the stereotype
Yeah.
around here. But eventually, when they see
Yes, yes.
how mad it gets,
Yes.
they're
yes.
they're calling and all
Yes.
that. And I'm sure
yeah.
this
We'll
will
get
be
there.
absolutely
We'll get
so-
there. We'll get there.
So fantastic. All right, sir. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of this amazing conversation. But
Thank you.
one last thing.
Yes, please.
For young people wanting this bikes. I mean, you literally said you don't even have a car, like all you just have 4 wives, and those are bikes. I have to put that out there, bikes. But yeah, so for young persons
Yeah.
who have this taste and who want to acquire stuff like that, what would you have to say to them?
Okay, so first things
As
first.
much as possible to stay legit.
Yeah, number one, you have to
Right.
stay legit. I got my first bike while I was in year 2.
Right, how old were you then?
Push back like 24, 20, yeah, around that time, yeah, 22, 24, within that time. So but then I was working and going to school as well. Okay. First things first, you can get whatever you want legitimately, and that's what people. It's when you want to do things on the fast lane.
Right.
You want to get it now. Then you look for shortcuts. Okay. So first thing is you have a dream, pace yourself, and you get there. Just pace yourself. You get what you want, and that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Nengimote.
Thank you very much.
This has been absolutely revved up, and I can't wait to be part of what's going to be happening real soon.
Awesome.
I mean, I
Awesome.
might just actually get on a bike as well, which I've never done, but okay. Thank you so much. This is Tab TV Fab exclusive. Remember to stay tuned in. Bye-bye for now.